There are a lot of perfect Christian artists out there who are all polished and fit the brand of Christian music, what that's supposed to look like and sound like. I, unfortunately, am not one. I'm not perfect. I'm very much flawed. I'm very much broken. I struggle with things like lust, like with addictions, with mental health. And my goal of my music and the Mediary Project is to be a mediary between the perfectly polished Christian brand and the realities of real life and what people are struggling with and thoughts that people have in everyday life. Sometimes those realities and your mindset, your thought process don't fit into the box and the brand name of what being Christian looks like. But that does not mean they're not Christian. That just means it doesn't fit that image of what people think Christian should look like all of the time. I am living out my testimony and speaking about it in real time. The reality of being a Christian is not that everything is just peachy now. And I was lost and now I'm found and I found Jesus and everything's amazing now. That's not the reality. That's not even biblical anywhere. Peter was crucified upside down. But we paint this picture of what it looks like and what it needs to look like to be a Christian, where everything's it's just amazing all of the time. But in that world, there's no need for God. There was at one point a need for God. He delivered me from this, but it's past tense. And that's not real life. And I think that's where we as Christians miss the mark a ton. And by no means am I saying that we need to just lace Christian music and teaching with profanity or anything like that. And my goal is not to do that. I would love to be in a place one day where not writing songs that have profanity in them. Most of my songs don't. But my goal is to be real and transparent with where I am, because I know where I am, where I actually am. There are a lot of people that are there as well. And I can meet them where they are, and we can do community together, and I can speak a word that impacts someone in a positive way and points them towards Christ. Whereas if I put on a mask of having everything together, number one, it's not genuine. So I'm gonna lose a lot of people right off the bat just for being fake, because that's not real. But also, I'm not actually going to be able to relate to those people. So when people reach out to me and say like, hey, this song really resonates with me because I'm going through X, Y, and Z, and I can respond back and we can have a dialogue like, wow, that's crazy. Here's what I'm going through. It's not the same situation, but there's a lot of similarities in where we are. There's power in that. There's power in meeting someone where they are, not just standing in a place and holding your hand out and say, come on, come all this way to me. Like, that's not biblical either. God did not do that to us. He sent Jesus, which was coming 99%, and all we have to do as that 1% is accept him. But then for us to think that we just live in this Christian castle and everybody has to get all perfect to be able to enter into it is about as close to being Pharisees in the modern day as you could possibly get. And I would say it's pretty much identical. Again, I'm not condoning if I say something that's inappropriate, but the reality is I am a broken person in need of a Christ that needs to be saved every day, who is on a journey every day, who is trying to get closer to God every day. And it's an ongoing journey. And I hope to be able to, I have faith that I'll be able to look back and be like, man, I've come a really long way just personally from where I was to where I am now. But if I decide to keep that totally internal and don't put it out there, that does no good. Like, testimonies are powerful, but if you don't share them, they're pointless. So then why did God deliver you? Just so you could be selfish and look a certain way? That's called being religious. Those aren't the people that God's after. And we're called to be fishers of men, women, people, not fishers of God or to appear like God. Maybe my ministry is to reach people that a pastor cannot reach.